I call to order the meeting. Agenda item 1, information papers issued since the last meeting. 3 papers in total have been issued to members. I believe you have all received them. Agenda item 2, items for discussion at the next meeting. The list of outstanding items for discussion has been issued to members. The next regular meeting will be held on the 8th of September from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's a Monday. When we've got the notice from the administration, we will notify members of the discussion items for the next meeting. Agenda item 3, government's efforts on facilitating building management and property management. LC paper number CB bracket 3 1088/025 bracket 03. That's a paper provided by the administration. There's also a background brief prepared by the LegCo Secretariat. LC paper number CB bracket 3 1088/025 bracket 04. Attending this item, we have Mr. Clarence Leung, Undersecretary for Home and Youth Affairs, Mr. Tae Chi Wang, Deputy Director of Home Affairs, and Mr. Chris Assistant Director of Home Affairs. I'll first invite Mr. Clarence Leung to walk us through the paper. Members who would like to put questions to the administration, please press the Request to Speak button. Mr. Leung. Chairman, members, good afternoon. I'm here today to brief members on the government's efforts in facilitating building management and property management. Private buildings are assets of owners. Maintaining and managing buildings are the responsibility of owners. The government's role is to, through improving legislations, that's the Building Management Ordinance, allow owners to form owners' corporations to discharge their building management responsibilities. In the meantime, the government has established the Property Management Services Authority and under the Property Management Services Ordinance to provide professional services to assist owners in managing their buildings. The HYAB and the HAD has done a lot of work. It has been set out in the paper. Indeed, the current term government attaches a lot of importance in facilitating owners in managing their buildings. HYAB last September set up a senior level steer, and it was chaired by the secretary. Every week we follow up on complicated cases in different districts in relation to property management, and we help management officers deal with the problems. The newly amended ordinance took effect yesterday, and through publicity and education, we have held briefing sessions as well as training courses to enhance relevant practitioners about the amended ordinance. The amended ordinance is to amend and implement the new procurement procedure to enhance transparency and protect owners' interests. Also, we have clearer definition in terms of management committees. For example, we have newly introduced provisions about statutory defense as well as the obligations of management committees so that we can protect members of management committees. For example, after the ordinance is amended, if the management committee did not keep the relevant documents, the incumbent management committee will not be held liable. The HYAB is reviewing the ordinance for the next step, for example, in relation to the authority's power to promote proper building management. In addition, HYAB has been assisting 3 new buildings. In the policy level, our goal is to help 3 new buildings set up owners' corporations. Therefore, in 2022, we regularized the Building Management Professional Advisory Service Scheme. We reached out to owners to help them form OCs. So far, we have a total of 693 OCs formed with the assistance provided under the scheme. Last year, we extended the contracts with district organizations for 3 years to provide help to the relevant OCs. So far, we have assisted the formation of 52 OCs. Last year, the CE in his policy address rolled out the JPM model, Joint Property Management. We have engaged district organizations in Yaoqing, Sham, Kowloon City, and Chunwan. We have rolled out the joint property management model. We seek to encourage 3 new buildings within these districts to engage the same property management companies to take forward day-to-day building management work. The scheme has been rolled out for about a month, and we've reached out to 40 buildings, and we've got positive feedback. We hope to continue to take forward the model. The HYAB as well as the HAD will, through different schemes and measures, promote good management practices to enhance people's sense of well-being and sense of gain. This is to also help build a harmonious community. We are happy to take members' questions. Thank you. Now I'll open the floor for questions. I'll read out the lineup. Mr. Brave Chen, Dr. Johnny Ng, Mr. Rock Chen, Ms. Chen Yutming, and Mr. Benson Look. I'll give each member 4 minutes, including questions and answers. Mr. Brave Chen will go first. Thank you, Chairman. Overall speaking, my impression is that the HYAB ranks the top in terms of the effort it has put in. 3 new buildings in old districts involve a lot of work to be done. For example, your colleagues will have to attend general meetings of management committees, and the meetings last very long. So I commend the work done by the HYAB. For 3 new buildings in old districts, it's hard for them to form owners' corporations. It's hard to rely on them to form OCs. So we have seen success under the pilot scheme on joint property management. Will the HYAB have lawyers, accountants, and district council members form a team to offer help to 3 new buildings? Will you have 3 new buildings make use of technology? This is like taking down illegal signages. You can first help them take forward the work and then recover costs from them. I have these suggestions, and I hope the Undersecretary will take on board my comments. Undersecretary, I thank Mr. Brave Chen for the suggestions. This is exactly the direction we are taking. We have been collaborating with different district organizations. We have 2 schemes. One is called BM Pass, the Building Management Professional Advisory Service Scheme. We help 3 new buildings formed owners' corporations under this scheme, and we try to reach out to owners to form OCs as well. We help 3 new buildings to form OCs, and we hope that they can engage professional companies to help them manage their buildings. And we encourage them to join the pilot scheme on joint property management. Last week, we engaged relevant companies to help with the work, and this is the direction we are taking. Mr. Brave Chen is right. We know that a lot of political parties have been calling for this joint property management model. And we have heard various views about this. And we are finally able to launch this pilot scheme now because of 3 major reasons. First, we have seen improved district governance. We have 470 district council members who genuinely want to offer support to citizens. And these district council members, they can make use of their networks to help take forward the scheme and offer support to 3 new buildings. Also, we have seen more and more aged buildings nowadays, which require maintenance. And this gives more incentives for owners to set up OCs and join the pilot scheme on joint property management. Also, Mr. Chen mentioned about technology. We have seen rapid development of technology. We can make use of CCTV to help management companies manage buildings. We can also make use of different tech solutions. So to lower the costs of management companies that join the pilot scheme on joint property management. This also helps lower the cost of owners. I thank Mr. Brave Chen. Next, Dr. Johnny Ng. Thank you, Chairman. I very much support the pilot scheme on joint property management, which helps 3 new buildings as well as old buildings and the owners living therein to improve their living environment. It's been a month and 40 buildings are participating in this scheme. Apart from encouraging owners to join this scheme, is there any concrete support from the government to boost the participation rate? Also, sometimes it's hard for the government to reach out to owners. Will you have to get a 100% agreement from owners to activate this scheme? Or do you have a threshold in terms of the percentage reached before the scheme can be activated? Also, has the government received any complaints from management companies? According to the paper, district council members as well as district organizations help deal with complaints in case there are any disputes. What kind of roles do district council members and district organizations play? Please explain. Undersecretary, I thank Dr. Johnny Ng for the questions. I have to clarify. I said that we have reached out to 40 buildings within the past month. It's not that 40 buildings have participated in the scheme. As mentioned, we've got positive feedback. Some buildings owners told us that they would like to have OCs formed, and so the feedback we got is very encouraging. Our team will proactively talk to the NGOs engaged. We will work with them closely to see how we can reach out to more owners and buildings and learn about what kind of support they need. So it's not that we will just engage organizations to work for us. We will work with them. Now, the joint property management model itself serves as an important incentive. Owners would like to see better management of their buildings. Engaging a professional management company can be very costly, especially for small-scale buildings. There aren't many households or owners, and so the costs have to be shared by each household is high. Now that with the joint property management model, each household shares a lower cost, so this is an important incentive for them to join the scheme. As mentioned, properly managing their buildings is the owner's responsibilities. However, the HYAB will try our best to offer support, and we see owners' well-being as our top priority. Our NGOs have also been offering lots of incentives. For example, they help owners set up certain devices and equipment. And for example, if the common parts of buildings are used for putting up ads, owners could charge certain fees. And so there are different incentives for different buildings. Do we need a 100% agreement or consent from owners to form an OC? No. Of course, we'll have to look at the requirements under each deed of mutual covenant of each building. Say an OC is formed and if a building management company is to be engaged, a general meeting of owners will have to be held first. Well, allow me to add one more point. Under Cap 626, we have set up the Property Management Services Authority, the PMSA, starting from August 2023, ask each management company to obtain a license. If a management company breaches the ordinance or displays a misconduct, the authority will follow up. Thank you.
Next, Mr. Rock-chan. Thank you. Chairman, it is said in the paper that there are some 3,003 new buildings in Hong Kong, and the Undersecretary said that in a short time, some 630 OCs have been formed with the assistance provided by the HYAB. I think that the result is very encouraging. But still, there are still many 3 new buildings without OCs or any form of owners' organization. Will the administration offer incentives, say for example, tax concessions, subsidy, to encourage licensed PMCs and participating in the management of 3 new buildings? Second, it is also said that we have some 2,000 residence liaison ambassadors to manage their buildings. I wonder if there is a mechanism to assess the performance of these resident liaison ambassadors. These ambassadors are not professionals. Most of them are volunteers. What happens if there is disputes or arguments between the owners and the ambassadors? Is there any arbitration or mediation mechanism in place? Is there any way for us to mediate any disputes? Undersecretary, thank you. I thank Mr. Chen for the question. Let me put it this way. In the 2024 policy address, the chief executive rolled out the pilot scheme on joint property management. When we formulated the pilot scheme, we've talked to many property management companies and non-government organizations to see what's the best way forward. We understand that many PMCs are interested in participating in the pilot scheme. We don't have a plan to provide any form of incentives yet. I must stress that the pilot scheme is for 1 year only. We're confident that the scheme will be very effective. With the pilot scheme, we believe that many buildings without OC would see the benefits of having a professional property management companies. Now, with regards to the resident liaison ambassadors, there is bound to be disputes on the management of any buildings. We have different schemes to solve any disputes or arguments. In the district offices of the Home Affairs Department, we have staff to liaise with resident liaison ambassadors. If there is any arguments or disputes, we refer them to the professional services we offer. We have engaged PMCs to offer guidance to owners' corporations free of charge. We have also a scheme engaging surveyors and engineers to offer advice to residents. We also have different forms of mediation services. offered by a retired judge or judicial officers. As mentioned, we have 470 district councillors who work for residents of different districts. We encourage residents to seek help from the Home Affairs Department or the district councillors. Next, Ms. Chen Yuming. Thank you, Chairman. I thank the administration for briefing their efforts on facilitating building management and property management in Hong Kong. I have two questions. First, on mediation services. I am a district councillor of the North District. I know that the HAD arranged for district ambassadors and district councillors to undergo training. In the general meetings of OCs, I know that the Home Affairs Department sent staff to attend in attendance, and there is sometimes disputes and arguments happening in these general meetings. As the HAD offer mediation training to their staff, will they include, say, the spirit of mediation or arbitration in the manual of some buildings? Second, on the pilot scheme on joint property management, it is said in paragraph 13 that the pilot scheme has been in place and there are many burglary cases happening in the new territories, especially in villages. Very often, villages in new territories are not managed by PMCs. I wonder if we can extend the pilot scheme to villages in new territories. We can take a village in the new territories as a pilot spot. If we can have a PMCs there, then we can enhance the security and environment of the particular village. Undersecretary, thank you. Now, regarding mediation, the HYAB and the HAD attach a lot of importance to resolving disputes through mediation. We have been arranging mediation training for district councillors because we know that for building and property management, very often we have to act as mediators to resolve many disputes. Apart from district councillors, the HYAB and the HAD would strive to promote mediation to resolve disputes. So I fully agree with what Ms. Chen said on mediation. Second, on extending the pilot scheme on joint property management to villages in new territories, I thank Ms. Chen for her suggestion. Perhaps we can look into it after the meeting in detail as to how we can extend the scheme to villages. Maybe Ms. Chen can share her experience with us. Chairman, I have something to add. 2 weeks ago, I underwent the mediation training offered by the HAD. I asked the tutor if there will be any examination after the training. I wonder if there would be any certificate so that we can put what we learn to use when disputes happen. Undersecretary, as we have offered the trainings to 473 district councillors, I know that there are many mediation council and centers on the market that offer for professional training to people who like to deepen their knowledge. If anyone would like to seek accreditation, they can undergo training under those centers and council. As far as I understand, we want to provide basic mediation training to the 473 district councillors in Hong Kong. Next, Mr. Benson Look. Undersecretary, good afternoon. The HYAB and the HAD has dedicated much resources to support the establishment of different OCs, Many 3 new buildings have OCs formed as a result of your efforts, and the pilot scheme on joint property management has been put in place. Many more people benefited from all these efforts. However, at the same time, we see that many OCs are inactive. What it means is that some 3 new buildings, despite having formed OC, because of the change in term or the inattendance of chairman, management issues arose. I have 3 questions. I wonder if you know how many inactive OCs there are in Hong Kong, and how will you vitalize these OCs? I know that you have colleagues asking these OC to convene meetings. Are they effective? District councillors have been in close liaison with many OCs. What advice would you give to these district councillors when they come across an active owners corporation? Undersecretary. Thank you. Chairman, I thank Mr. Look for his questions on inactive owners corporation. We do notice that there are many inactive OCs in Hong Kong. Under the BM Pass, we help 3 new buildings form OCs and also revitalize inactive owners corporation. It's not easy for us to revitalize any inactive OCs under the existing legal framework. If there is only 1 out of the 7 members of the OC left, then we can ask the member left to convene another general meeting to elect new members. However, there are OCs where all of the members have resigned or passed away. Under Cap 344, there's no way for us to revitalize these owners corporation. We have to, well, all we can do is to appoint a person to be in charge as a member of the OC temporarily. When we amend Cap 344, we will try to plug this loophole. When there is emergency happening in the buildings, the HYAB, the secretary, under Cap 344, has no way to resolve any issues that are in imminent need of attention. Hopefully we can plug this loophole by amending our legislation. Undersecretary, well, I note the Undersecretary's answer. Many district councillors work very hard to reach out to different households in 3 new buildings where the OCs have become inactive in order to revitalize it. I think that the HYAB should reinforce their coordination with the HAD.
Any reply? Definitely. Please rest assured. We have been working with district council members, especially in the area of building management. The chairman of each district council was asked to tell us what kind of support they need. So we have been working with them. Mr. Michael, look. The pilot scheme on joint property management is a good scheme because it allows old buildings or single block buildings to engage the same property management company. The scheme has been running for a while. I want to know the progress we have made. Are there any single block buildings that are unwilling to take part in the scheme? Also, I understand that you are engaging district organizations to help single block buildings take part in this scheme. Do we have enough manpower for these district organizations? Are there cases in which it's hard to reach out to owners? Also, do you need the consent of a certain number of owners before a management company can be engaged? Are there owners who are very stubborn and are unwilling to pay management fees? Now, I'd like to talk about tendering. It is a scheme called Smart Tender, and it allows transparency for maintenance works. How many buildings are making use of Smart Tender? For OCs that do not make use of Smart Tender, are there ways to persuade OCs to use Smart Tender? I'd like to learn about the situation. Undersecretary. I thank Mr. Michael Look for the questions. The pilot scheme on joint property management has been launched for a month. Within the past month, we have been liaising very closely with the district organizations we engaged in the 4 districts. And through our communication, we know that we have already reached out to 40 buildings, and we are in talks with them about the scheme. We've got positive feedback, and some owners of these buildings have told us that they would like to take part in the scheme. As to whether there are buildings or owners that are unwilling to take part in the scheme, I think it really depends on the owners. There are reasons for owners to join or refuse to take part in the scheme. We hope to communicate with them and ease their concerns. If they are willing to take part in the scheme, we will try our best to make sure that they have a good experience under the scheme. Now, in relation to Smart Tender, I believe we'll have to learn about the situation with the Urban Renewal Authority or the relevant government departments. I don't have the relevant information in hand. We have amended CAP 344, the Building Management Ordinance. And since the amendment, we have asked for greater transparency concerning maintenance works. For example, in the past, a quorum of 5% was required. Now we ask for a 10% quorum for a general meeting of OCs. So we are enhancing the incentives for owners to take part in the discussion of maintenance works at general meetings. We also have raised a series of requirements in relation to tendering. And this involves private property ownership, so we have the OCs make the decisions themselves. Mr. Holden Chow. I'd like to commend the HYAB's efforts in building management, including the pilot scheme on joint property management. A number of members have asked this question. I know the pilot scheme on joint property management has been launched for about a month. According to the paper, with the joint property management model, costs could be lowered. However, I'd like to learn about this. For some 3 new buildings, they are in very poor conditions. And small owners living in these buildings, they are financially tight. While the joint property management model can help owners reduce costs, in extreme cases, will the government consider making use of government resources to help take forward maintenance works of certain buildings? Will the government intervene in extreme cases? I know that we cannot rely on the government's effort because we're talking about private buildings here. However, with the joint property management model, we are striving to reduce owners' costs. I want to know, in extreme situations, will the government intervene and will the government help shoulder the costs of maintenance works in extreme cases? I'm referring to extreme situations, not the normal cases. I believe the Undersecretary knows what I'm talking about. Some elderly owners find it very difficult to deal with maintenance works, but if the building is not maintained, it will cause safety issues. So I want to know if you have these thoughts under the pilot scheme on joint property management. Undersecretary, I thank Mr. Holden Chow for the questions. As far as I understand, if there is an urgent need to carry out maintenance works, the Buildings Department may intervene. If there are issues concerning fire services installation, the Fire Services Department can enter the housing estate or the private building concerned to carry out the replacement or maintenance works. And in these cases, the government will help carry out the works and then recover costs from owners afterwards. Also, I'd like to mention that the URA has been offering help to carry out building maintenance works. It has been offering subsidies to qualified owners as well as qualified buildings. Well, for extreme cases, I think we'll have to look at them on a case-by-case basis. Next, Ms. Rebecca Chen. Thank you, Chairman. There have been many management issues involving 3 new buildings. I appreciate that the government has thought of different ways to help handle the problems. Just now, the Undersecretary said the pilot scheme on joint property management has been launched for a month. From 2011 to 2020, we have been using the BM Pass to reach out to 3 new buildings to help them form owners' corporations. How can the 2 schemes complement each other? The BM Pass is now a regular scheme. It is no longer a pilot scheme. For example, you may want to transfer some of the buildings from the BM Pass to the pilot scheme on joint property management to help create synergy. Also, some members just now mentioned that it's hard to reach out to elderly owners. Take consumer cases as an example. You are offering courses to consumers. So apart from educating members how to deal with property management issues, will you, for example, share different cases online to allow owners to learn about how building management issues can be handled? We need real-life cases or case study. For example, when consumers are deceived or fall prey into certain scams, we share these cases with each other. I think members of the public need more knowledge in this regard. We should not leave it to the owners to deal with any potential issues themselves. We can make use of online platforms. We don't necessarily need a physical publication to share these cases. We need to enhance owners in Hong Kong concerning their knowledge about building management. So my question is, how can the two schemes complement each other to achieve a greater effect? Undersecretary, I thank Ms. Chen for the comments. We do know that the two schemes complement each other and they help create synergy. We have regularized the BM Pass and it covers all 18 districts. And we have extended the contracts with district organizations for 3 years under the scheme because we know that it takes organizations a lot of effort to reach out to owners in order to help 3 new buildings form owners' corporations. Under BM Pass, if we are able to, for example, help owners of 3 new buildings to form OCs, these owners could be a very good participant under the pilot scheme on joint property management. This is because it's costlier for owners to engage property management companies their own. So we have engaged 4 district organizations under the pilot scheme on joint property management. We'll also work closely with the district organizations under BM Pass so that we can work with them to provide better services for old buildings as well as single block buildings. As for the point about real-life cases, we will study the members' suggestion. Thank you. Next, Ms. Doreen Kong. I thank the chairman for letting me put questions to the administration. I'm not a member of this panel. I have a couple of questions. First of all, I appreciate that this current term government, especially the undersecretary, because he has done a lot of work in building management. He has a lot of courage. So I thank the undersecretary and his team. My first question. Now, based on my personal experience in dealing with owners' corporations, I think that they can be made more competent in dealing with building management issues. Say, for example, how to draft resolutions, how to chair general meetings of owners. Sometimes when I raise a case to them, they oftentimes are not aware of these cases. So how can you step up capacity building for these owners? Also, I want to know if there will be any sandbox schemes on building management. Say, for example, in smaller districts, will you roll out sandbox schemes so that there could be better flow of information? And will there be a larger scale joint property management model? For example, in Shanghai, in some small districts? Well, I've seen it myself. Some older buildings in Shanghai, there are management companies, but these management committees of these small buildings, they work together to create greater synergy. They also have something known as e-voting. We don't know if the same model will work in Hong Kong. So I wonder if the Undersecretary will consider launching sandbox schemes. Lastly, I know that under Cap 344, the Building Management Ordinance, there will be a Phase 2 review. I know that you have been working very hard on this. Will the Phase 2 management be taken forward within the current term government?
Undersecretary, I thank Ms. Kong for the questions, and I thank her for the recognition. The Undersecretary, Deputy Director, colleagues from the Home Affairs Department all work very hard to help as many owners and residents as possible. In my 3 years' time working for the government, I have heard many valuable advice from Ms. Doreen Kong. She's helped us improve many of our ordinances and regulations. Regarding your last question, we've been working on the Phase 2 review of the BMO. As you come across different cases or different stakeholders, we identify problems and we see areas where we need to improve on. However, sometimes many different departments are involved, and we are as anxious as you are. We want to improve the ordinance as soon as possible. Regarding building management sandbox, we try to be innovative in improving our building and property management. We want to tailor our measures to the uniqueness of different districts. We have many different types of buildings in Hong Kong. Sometimes within the single building, we have a parking lot, we have commercial facilities and residential units. So we have to look at each building on a case-by-case basis. On joint management, well, we have different courses for members of owners corporation who want to learn more. Say, for example, we have a lead program and an advanced lead program to equip OC members with more knowledge. The Home Affairs Department have been reaching out to many different owners of owner corporations to address their questions on, say, for example, how to chair a meeting, how to draft resolutions. Our colleagues will be very willing to help. We also have many different district councillors that are ready to help. If members of OCs have any questions, please reach out to not just the HAD colleagues, but also the district councillors. Now it's my turn. First of all, I'd like to commend the Home and Youth Affairs for trying to solve the long-standing problems on building management and property management. I think that the pilot scheme on joint property management is a great measure. The scheme has been in place for a short period of time, but I wonder if the administration has identified any problems or challenges. Do you find it difficult to identify property management company to participate in the scheme? Have you come across any buildings where owners are not willing to participate in the scheme? That's my first question. Second, we have to keep reviewing the building management ordinance to improve it. I wonder if the administration will review the power of the PMSA, and if a review is necessary, when will the outcome of the review be out? Undersecretary. Chairman, thank you for the two questions. As I mentioned, regarding the pilot scheme on joint property management, over the past 10 years, quite a number of political parties, my apologies, have advocated for such a scheme. Joint property management, it's good conceptually, but sometimes it's difficult to implement. Say, for example, sometimes it's difficult for us to identify PMCs that are willing to take part in, and some owners are out of reach because they have migrated somewhere else. And sometimes PMCs may have disagreement with owners of buildings. So these are the challenges that we have come across under the pilot scheme. For the PMCs that I have been in touch with, they told me that they're willing to participate in the pilot scheme. They said that they may be able to identify a new operating model by joining the scheme. With technological advancements, PMCs may be able to control their cost under the scheme on joint property management. As to how we can identify owners and how we can encourage them to participate in the scheme, we leverage on our local organizations. They have a comprehensive network in the particular district. They have it easier to identify owners, to encourage them and convince them to participate in the scheme. We're not mandating all buildings in the Kowloon City to form OC under the pilot scheme. We just try our best to help 3 new buildings that want to form OCs. Regarding the power of the authority under CAF 344, we will look into a few different areas. As I mentioned, we have inactive owners corporations. When emergency happens in the particular buildings without OC, we are looking into whether we should empower the PMSA to designate a certain person or party to cater to the emergency or form an OC by election. Many LegCo members and people of the community are concerned about the proxy. With the enhanced requirements on proxy, people would attach more importance to general meeting. In the future, we may come up with more enhancement measures to improve our BMO. In the internal senior level group chaired by the secretary, we organize a weekly meeting to look into each and every cases in detail. Any other questions? If not, 10 members have raised questions on this item. It's about time. I will conclude this item here. I thank the government officials for joining this meeting. Item 4, Hong Kong Week 2025 at Seoul. Paper CB bracket 3 1088 /25 bracket 05. Paper provided by the administration. Would the government representatives please come in?
比我想象係少喎，即係問嘢。頭先10個，我本來都冇諗住問。係咁今日。
With us today from the administration are Mr. Raislin Lau, Undersecretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism, Ms. Eve Tam, Deputy Director for LCS, and Ms. Betty Out, Assistant Director of the LCSD. Welcome. Would the Undersecretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism brief us on the paper? Members, if you'd like to put questions, please press the button now. Undersecretary, Mr. Lau. Thank you, Chairman. Hong Kong is influenced by Western culture and traditional Chinese culture. To showcase the unique cultural glamour and artistic essence, the LCSD has organized 3 editions of Hong Kong Week in the mainland, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Wuhan. To promote professional exchange and collaboration between Hong Kong and mainland artists, the outline of the 14th Five-Year Plan promulgated in 2021 gave clear support of Hong Kong development into East meets West Center for International Cultural Exchange. In the 2022 policy address, the Chief Executive announced that the Hong Kong Week will be further extended to overseas cities so as to enhance the influence of Hong Kong's culture and arts on the international stage. The first overseas Hong Kong Week was successfully held in Bangkok, Thailand, presenting diversified activities that cover different areas, bringing together many performances. This showcased the unique charm of the creativity of Hong Kong by presenting iconic Hong Kong works to the Thai audience. The 4 editions of the Hong Kong Week have received full support from the mainland and government departments, attracting a total attendance of more than 1.28 million. The Hong Kong Week has successfully consolidated Hong Kong's position as an East meets West Center for International Culture Exchange and has also laid a solid foundation for Hong Kong Week to go international. From September to October, we're going to organize a Hong Kong Week in Seoul that cover visual arts, film screenings, so on and so forth. We plan to attract about 140,000 people. We will showcase our ICH and our local events to showcase our soft power. Our colleagues from the LCSD will give you more details later on. The Hong Kong Week at Seoul will promote deep collaboration among artists in Hong Kong and Seoul. Many of the events have the participation of Korean artists. The exhibitions and performances will showcase traditional Chinese and Korean culture. In order to reach out to more audience via the Hong Kong Week at Seoul, the LCSD is currently working with the Hong Kong ETO, Tokyo, and the Hong Kong Tourism Board on a comprehensive publicity and promotional campaigns to offer previews of and top recommendations on the highlights and unique activities. I will ask the Deputy Director of the LCSD to tell you more about the programs of the Hong Kong Week 2025 at Seoul. I hope that the members will give us some suggestions so that we can better organize this activity and event. Ms. Betty Au, please. Thank you. Let me brief you on the Hong Kong Week at Seoul. Hong Kong Week at Seoul is a culture exchange activity organized by the LCSD. It showcases to audience of different cities through different art forms. The first Hong Kong Week was staged in 2009 on an offline and online basis in Shanghai mainland and Guangzhou. After COVID, we staged the first International Hong Kong Week at Bangkok. In 2025, we're going to organize the Hong Kong Week 2025 at Seoul. We have engaged 5 major arts groups to showcase our creativity and culture. As an opening program, we have asked the Hong Kong Ballet to stage the Romeo and Juliet. It is adapted from the immortal Shakespearean masterpiece, and they organized a full house tour in New York because apart from basing the performance on the Shakespearean masterpiece, they have included, say, glamorous cheongsams and dance costumes with Hong Kong characteristics. We will stage this performance at the National Theatre of Korea. We will organize a opening ceremony and to showcase our intangible cultural assets and heritage so that the media and the audience can learn more about our culture. So this is the opening program.
There are also programs to promote traditional Chinese culture. This includes the exhibition called Wu Guangzhong, Between Black and White, to be staged at the Seoul Arts Center. Mr. Wu Guangzhong is a very well-known master. There are many his collections in the Hong Kong Museum of Art. 17 of his works, including ink art, will be exhibited. And it will also cover a piece of work from a local artist. And a lot of his well-known works will be showcased. I think we should all visit this exhibition. And another program involves the Hong Kong Chinese Orchestra. Some South Korean artists will work with the orchestra. 50 members of a South Korean children choir will perform with the Hong Kong Chinese Orchestra. And there will be some crossover projects with a musician in South Korea. And there will be a performance involving pansori. We aim to showcase traditional Chinese culture, and through exchanges and crossover, we want audience to learn more about our culture and music. For Hong Kong Philharmonic Orchestra, they will stage some very outstanding performances. The upcoming performance will be conducted by LegCo Man, and we have also invited a well-known pianist in South Korea, Yoo Kwon-sun Woo, and he is the first person that won the gold award in a very well-known competition. And there will be collaborations between the Philharmonic Orchestra and this pianist. As mentioned, for dance performances, there will be performances staged by the Hong Kong Ballet. And there will be another performance known as the 24 Solar Terms. It is going to showcase the intangible cultural heritage in Hong Kong through physical movements as well as digital images. It will showcase to South Korean audience some different forms of arts. This represents an in-depth exchange between South Korean artists as well as local artists, because it involves light designers as well as fashion designers of South Korea. There is another program called Mr. Blank 2.0, staged by the City Contemporary Dance Company, and the performance will be staged through video and digital creations, and there will be collaborations between local artists in Hong Kong as well as South Korean artists. To promote pop culture, we have staged 3 pop culture festivals. We strive to showcase local brands, and we want to bring these brands to other places. There will be an event called Imagine Land at Seoul. This was previously held in Victoria Park as well as the Cultural Center in Hong Kong. There was a large-scale outdoor concert and a carnival, and the event was very successful. And this time around, we have picked Nanji Hangang Park for staging Imagine Land at Seoul. It is a very popular park. There will be a concert at night, and we will play music there. We will see crossover between pop culture as well as classical culture, and this event will be staged with free admission. There will also be film screenings. It is a collaboration between Korean Film Archive and the Hong Kong Film Archive. We will show 2 co-productions, and 2 of the films to be screened are Hong Kong film classics from the 1960s to the 1980s. And we will showcase a film called The Story of a Discharged Prisoner, directed by Mr. John Woo. We want to present these films to the South Korean audience. Apart from staging classic films, the CCIDA has worked with us, and we will hold an event called Making of Waves. Some Hong Kong films will be screened. 6 to 10 movies will be screened, and they are all produced over the past 3 years. We hope to showcase our new movies to the Korean audience. Now, the creative industry is an important stakeholder in the Hong Kong Week, so the CCIDA has made arrangements to hold 2 fashion exhibitions. One fashion show will showcase an exhibition known as Hong Kong Films and Digital Fashion. It's curated by a famous fashion designer called Dorian Ho. In this exhibition, we will see a combination of film and elements of tourism. It will be held in a popular spot known as Suwon Jomil Printing Warehouse in South Korea. There will be 120 works from Hong Kong and Korean fashion designers. Now, on comics, we have a lot of comics works in Hong Kong. Currently, there is a comics exhibition in Hong Kong, and this year the theme is to showcase martial arts and humor. We want to bring this brand to Seoul. The Hong Kong Comics and Animation Federation, apart from showcasing comics of humor, they are also introducing elements of martial arts. Therefore, there will be works featuring classic Hong Kong comic characters such as Old Master Q and My Boy. We will bring these elements to Seoul. Apart from presenting works of local artists, we will invite comics artists from South Korea to showcase their work in the exhibition. Apart from working with the CCIDA, we are also working with the Hong Kong Arts Development Council. The council is helping us select high-quality programs to be staged during the Hong Kong Week. This year, we have a young choreographer called Terry Zhang. The program will showcase traditional culture, and the performance is called Travel of the Soul, Echoes of the Time, and some dancers from South Korea will join in showcasing the physical movements. There's another program called Asian Modern Symphony Orchestra. It is to be conducted by a young conductor, Wilson. He has been pursuing development in Korea for some time. There will be extension activities apart from these performances and programs. There will be master classes, meet the artist sessions to allow the audience to have a better knowledge about our culture. We aim to through these programs, attract 450,000 visitors. Thank you. Now I'll open the floor for questions. So far, 6 members have asked to speak. I'll read out the lineup. Dr. Johnny Ms. Chen Yut-ming, Deputy Chair. Ms. Rebecca Chan, Mr. Kenneth Lau, Mr. Benson Look, Mr. Nixie Lam, and myself. We have plenty of time. I'll give each member 5 minutes, including questions and answers. Dr. Johnny will go first. Thank you, Chairman. I'm happy to see this report. There are some very good programs. I participated in the Shanghai edition of the Hong Kong Week, and I also helped out in the event. I support the continuous staging of this kind of events because these events can help promote our culture and performances to audiences from different places. I have a couple of questions. The Hong Kong Week has been staged for a few years. This is the 5th edition. And this time, the event will be staged in Seoul. I participated in the marketplace in South Korea, and it has been working with Hong Kong. Will there be a schedule of where the future editions of the Hong Kong Week will be held? In Hong Kong, we've been trying very hard to attract businesses and capital. For example, the chief executive has been leading delegation to the Middle East. Apart from attracting capital and businesses, we also want to promote our culture. So I want to know where the future editions will be held. Also, how much money will be spent on this? Because the administration did not mention about cost at all. Will all the programs be staged for free? Will the government recover costs? Also, dances, music, pop culture, fashion, and comics and animations will be covered in this event. Will there be, for example, Cantonese opera? For example, when I visited South Korea, I brought with me a Cantonese opera that could be staged in English, and I got very good feedback. So I want to know if there will be parts to promote our Cantonese opera. Also, money will be spent, and I want to know if you will work with the travel agencies in South Korea. Say, for example, the South Korean audiences really appreciate the culture in Hong Kong. Will you bring them to Hong Kong so that they can take part in tour groups in Hong Kong? Thank you.
Undersecretary, I thank Dr. for the question. This is the second time that we stage Hong Kong Week overseas. Thailand is a member of the ASEAN. Now we're going towards the northeast. We hope to stage Hong Kong Week in countries along the Belt and Road Initiative. The Middle East is one of our targets. We have to look at the schedule of particular countries or cities before we form any partnership with them. We accord priority to Middle Eastern countries, but as to when we can stage Hong Kong Week there, it depends on our negotiation. On the point about Cantonese opera, we don't have any performance in such an art form this time. We try to stage different types of performance in different editions. We may offer proposals on programs, and sometimes our partners have their comments, and we come up together on a final list of programs. We try to bring many of our ICH to different places. Although we don't have Cantonese opera this time, we have other elements of ICH incorporated this time. We have worked with the Hong Kong Tourism Board on this Hong Kong Week at Seoul. We take this opportunity to allow Korean citizens to know more about Hong Kong. Hopefully, after attending the Hong Kong Week, they will come to see more performances here. A short Hong Kong Week cannot encompass all of our signature performances, and hopefully, after attending the week, they will come to our city. Regarding the budget, I will ask the LCST to talk about that. The CSTB set aside funds for local art groups and artists to perform in other cities and countries. We spent $23 million on the Hong Kong Week at Seoul. That include the production of programs, transport costs for local officials and arts groups. The Arts Development Council will make use of their budget to cover the cost of the Hong Kong Week. It seems that this is not a Hong Kong Week but a Hong Kong month because it lasts a whole month. Ms. Chen Yuming, thank you. I support the promotion of Hong Kong's culture in other cities and countries. Japanese and Korean tourists make up a majority of visitors, inbound visitors. According to the paper, many programs are about arts, and it is said that the week will attract about 450,000 participants. South Korea has become a very popular tourism destination because of their culture. Many people watch their dramas, listen to their music. Will the administration invite Korean production teams to film Hong Kong so that more people will know more about the city? We see that some Korean variety shows coming to Hong Kong to film their productions. Will we try to do it again? I know that the ETOs in other countries focuses on economic and trade, but I wonder how they will help in the organization of the Hong Kong Week. Undersecretary, thank you. Through this Hong Kong Week, we hope that Korean citizens will know more about music in Hong Kong, our signature performances, so on and so forth. Although TV is not covered, we are going to offer film screenings of movies of recent days and classics. As to inviting Korean production teams to Hong Kong to film variety shows in Hong Kong, we will look into it. If there is any production teams from South Korea that want to film their shows or dramas in Hong Kong, we offer as much assistance as possible because that will help us drive our tourism. Regarding the role of ETOs in the Hong Kong Week, well, they will help us out on the publicity and promotional campaigns, and they will help us coordinate different parties as well. Apart from Hong Kong Week, the ETO organizes their events and the place where they're stationed at to promote Hong Kong. If necessary, the ETO will ask the Arts Development Council to select arts groups to promote. Thank you. Any follow-up questions? No? Ms. Chan Hao-Yan. Thank you, Chairman. I thank the Undersecretary and the LCSD for giving us this presentation because I think that the Hong Kong Week is very appealing. We may not be able to attend due to our work engagement. The Hong Kong Week seems to last a month. I hope that it will last even longer. The Hong Kong Week in Seoul and in Bangkok is not just to tell good stories of Hong Kong or China mainland. We hope that after attending the week, citizens of those places would fly to Hong Kong to experience for themselves the Chinese culture. The Hong Kong week will end on the 25th of October, and very soon after that we'll have Christmas. Will we promote the events that we have in November and December during the Hong Kong week so that Korean citizens would know what events we have? Regarding the films that you mentioned, are we going to screen any classics that have been restored in Hong Kong? If yes, I think that we should promote it in Seoul as well, so that we can enhance the economic benefits that can be generated from the week. Second, the administration said that they are going to incorporate ICH elements into the Hong Kong week at Seoul. Apart from displaying the ICH, can we say organize workshops on milk tea? After the participants have a taste of making milk tea, maybe they want to try it for themselves in Hong Kong. My last point on films and movies. You said that you are not just going to stage the Making Waves Navigators of Hong Kong cinema. We have a movie, Walden, that took place in Kowloon City. After watching the movie, people might want to visit its background in Hong Kong. Undersecretary, thank you. We fully agree with you. We're going to promote Hong Kong during the week at Seoul. We are going to let Korean citizens know what mega events or festivals we're going to have in Hong Kong. We are also going to soft sell our intangible cultural heritage. We will try to organize workshops to allow participants to make milk tea. This is something that we will consider. We will try to stage workshops in Korea, if not, maybe in the next edition of the Hong Kong Week. On the selection of films and movies, we agree with what Ms. Chan said. We're going to select famous movies that are popular, that may be more lasting in terms of its popularity. Say, for example, the movie Walden, Kowloon City Warriors that you just mentioned. Hopefully, after watching the movie, visitors would come to Hong Kong to visit Kowloon City. Mr. Kenneth Lau, thank you. I support the organization of the Hong Kong Week at Seoul in September and October, because that will facilitate economic and cultural exchanges. I hope that the administration will enrich the content even further so that more Korean citizens would come to Hong Kong to shop, to visit. On the point about ICH. No dragon dance or lion dance will be performed in the Hong Kong week, and no milk tea elements will be included. We have many ICH items. I hope that the administration will try to promote them. The movie Walden was very popular. We staged an exhibition of it in the airport and the Kowloon City. I visited the exhibition there, and I also visited a exhibition stage in Cheonsa. In the exhibition, there are bars, there are retail stores with online shopping. It's difficult for shopping centers to attract footfall. I wonder if the administration will, say, identify an area in the Kowloon City so that investors can stage an exhibition based on the movie Twilight of the Warriors, Walden. I think that we need more hardware and software to vitalize our economy. Will the administration look into this medium to long-term investment opportunity? Undersecretary, thank you. We have 507 ICH items, which is quite a significant amount. They include different skills, productions, and objects, as well as items. When we stage Hong Kong Week in different cities, we try to incorporate different ICH elements. As mentioned, we will stage demonstrations of ICH items and some elements. Say, for example, the 24 solar terms have been incorporated into some of our performances. On making milk tea, we will try to incorporate such an experience in the next edition of the Hong Kong Week. Regarding movies or films, we have taken advantage of the popularity of the movie Twilight of the Warriors, Walden, by staging many different exhibitions at airside, at the airport, and the Kowloon Park. These exhibitions have been very popular. The business sector also recognized its success. If the business sector has any idea to leverage on the popularity of the movie, they can reach out to the government. We may work with them. The movie is not the asset of the government alone. It's an IP of that particular film production company. So I hope that the different sectors will work together on how we can maximize the benefits of the popularity of the movie in order to attract more visitors. Any follow-up questions? No? Next, Mr. Benson Look.
主席
Thank you, Chairman. Hong Kong Week 2025 at Seoul carries the mission for us to tell good stories of Hong Kong. So I support this event. I want to ask about paragraph 14 about films. I have 3 questions. I know that during the Hong Kong Week, 6 Hong Kong films, including as well as 1 co-production between Hong Kong and Korea, including The Story of a Discharged Prisoner, will be screened. Which 6 movies will you pick? The Story of a Discharged Prisoner is, of course, a classic. Different films can be selected to showcase the different times and eras of Hong Kong to give an all-rounded representation of the city. So I want to know which 6 films will be picked. Also, how many participants or visitors do you expect for the film screenings? What kind of direct positive impacts will the film screenings bring to Hong Kong? Second question, Hong Kong Week 2025 is to help showcase our soft power. Will there be elements that can help the Hong Kong Week transform into economic benefits? For example, will you encourage visitors to make investments in Hong Kong? Will you encourage visitors to visit Hong Kong, for example? Under Secretary, there will be 2 types of films. There will be collaboration between the Hong Kong Film Archive and the Korean Film Archive. Together they will pick film noirs as well as films from the 80s. There will be a version of The Story of a Discharged Prisoner from the 1967 as well as from 1986. So there will be 2 versions to be screened for The Story of a Discharged Prisoner. There will be 1 film noir and 2 co-produced films, which are both film noir from the 1960s. And these films are selected by both the Hong Kong Film Archive and the Korean Film Archive because they are co-produced by Hong Kong and Korea. Another 2 films are also film noir, and they are also productions from the 60s. So this film screening is basically a recap of classic films in the earlier times to allow people to know that there were film productions even a long time ago. And another program is called Making Waves, Navigators of Hong Kong Cinema. We are still deciding which films should be selected, but these films will basically be productions from the past 1 to 2 years. The films to be selected will allow Korean audience to have a better understanding of our film history as well as the film characters and our representative films. We hope that through these film programs, there will be more collaborations between the Hong Kong and Korean film industries. Many practitioners in the TV and film industry of Korea are greatly influenced by Hong Kong films from the 70s and 80s. So there will be sharing sessions as well as extension activities during the Hong Kong week because this will allow opportunities for Hong Kong and Korea to explore collaborations. As mentioned, during the opening of various programs, we will launch publicity campaigns to introduce the mega events in the pipeline in Hong Kong. We hope that visitors of these programs after the Hong Kong week will visit Hong Kong to participate in the various mega events to be held. We expect to have 3,000 participants for the film programs during the Hong Kong week. In recent years, we have seen films co-produced by Hong Kong and Korea. If you are to select films from recent years, you may consider these co-productions because these films showcase streets with characteristics in Hong Kong. And they also showcase the collaborations between Hong Kong and Korean artists. Ms. Nixie Lam, I hope that there could be more elements promoting Hong Kong during the Hong Kong week. Many of my Korean friends, their impression of Hong Kong come from the 80s and the 90s. I remember that after I had taken a picture with Mr. Chow Yun-fat, my Korean friends got very excited and asked me how come I could run into Mr. Chow Yun-fat. I'm now in my 40s, and a lot of the elements we promote are from the 80s and 90s. I do hope that we can promote our new elements. Just now, the administration said it would promote our contemporary art as well as traditional culture. How do you decide how much traditional culture and how much contemporary art you will promote? And do you target a certain age group in Korea? Are you targeting the young people? Also, the social media platforms in South Korea, for example, Naver as well as Line, are very, very influential. Will you make use of these platforms to strengthen your promotional efforts? With just a small amount of investment, you can make a huge impact through these investments. So how will you step up promotion of Hong Kong? Undersecretary, I thank Ms. Lam for the questions. We have pop culture. We also have craftsmanship in Hong Kong. We talk to our collaborative partners to see what the targeted audience prefer. We also learn about what our targeted audience like to decide on the program. So every time we bring programs to a place, we have different elements. We do not have a model that we make use of every time. This is because the programs that we stage have to meet the preference of the local audience. One successful element of our pop culture festival is the outdoor concert. We will bring this concert to South Korea to promote our pop culture. We hope to showcase the work of our pop culture artists to South Koreans so that they know the latest development of our pop culture. Paragraph 16 of the paper says that we will make use of social media platforms such as Naver, as mentioned by Ms. Nixie Lam. We have also invited KOLs from South Korea to help with the publicity campaign so that more people in South Korea will learn about Hong Kong and take part in the different events and activities. Thank you. I believe Ms. Lam has no more follow-up questions because she has left the meeting. Lastly is my round. I did not pay particular attention to the Hong Kong week in Bangkok. But judging from this program, I think this is a rare event staged by Hong Kong. This is perhaps the largest scale cultural and arts event to be staged in many years. I have been longing for this kind of event for many years. I didn't have a chance to take part in the Hong Kong week in Bangkok, but I do think that this is a very good opportunity for us to learn about Hong Kong. I'm looking at the program schedule, and I do see the administration's effort in promoting cultural exchange. We are inviting South Koreans from the arts and culture sector to stage performances, and I hope that this will bring about some positive impacts. Indeed, this is a very large-scale event. Some major organizations and art groups, including 2 orchestra as well as 3 dance groups, are taking part in the event. And there will be exhibitions, there will be fashion shows, and there will be film screenings. There will also be a pop concert. So I'm looking forward to this event. Just now a member said and asked how we can make use of the exhibitions to attract South Korean audience. How can we allow them to have a new understanding and impression of Hong Kong, which will spark their interest in following the culture and art in Hong Kong? How can we get them follow the arts and culture development in Hong Kong? I think we should spare no effort in this. The administration is putting in a lot of manpower, resources, and energy into this, and how can we do better? For example, can the tourism industry form a delegation to help promote Hong Kong in South Korea, making use of this opportunity? Can there be more exchanges between the Hong Kong's tourism sector and the Korean tourism sector? How can we invite people in South Korea to take part in this program? How can we attract visitors from South Korea to come to Hong Kong to bring about economic benefits? Well, I think we should not waste this opportunity because this is a rare opportunity. We should involve the tourism sector. We should also make our best effort to make use of the local social media platforms to stage our publicity campaign. If we can make good use of the platforms and launch publicity, we will be able to attract 450,000 participants or more, and we will be able to yield results. This is just a simple idea from me. Undersecretary, I agree with you. We will see how we can work with the tourism sector so that we can make use of the opportunity of the Hong Kong Week. We will see how the tourism sector can work with us to help bring visitors from South Korea to Hong Kong. As mentioned, through the various programs and events, we will resort to all means to launch a publicity campaign. For example, there will be a fashion show, and in November, we have the Hong Kong Fashion Week, and we will make use of all the events to promote the mega events to be staged in Hong Kong. We will make use of each and every occasion to fight for the recognition of people in South Korea. I believe 400 or 500 people from the art and culture sector will be involved. This is a rare opportunity. I hope that each art and culture organization in Hong Kong can be there to help promote Hong Kong. Also, I hope that they can be there to feel the vibe, and with the experience they get, they will help organize future art and culture events. They can help form delegations. They can also help organize exchange opportunities. I hope that they can help make such an arrangement. Thank you, Chairman.
Fully agree with you. Apart from the programs we mentioned just now, we're going to also stage extension activities to promote people-to-people exchange. This will pave the way forward for a future collaboration. Thank you, Chairman. Any other questions? If not, 7 members have spoken on this item. If there's no further questions, let's move on to any other business. There being no other business, meeting adjourned. Thank you.